on the front.
We ask all passengers to remain seated for the duration of the ride and not to lean on the sides of the train, as this may cause it to stop suddenly. Thank you.
You're about to explore some of London's hidden underground postal railway. I'm Andy, your guide today, and I'm joined by Ray Middlesworth. Hi, Ray.
Hi. I worked here as an engineer for 27 years, keeping the trains running.
Main railway stations and sorting offices much faster than the long congested streets above our heads. And it's amazing to think construction of the railway began as far back as 1914, with the tunnels dug by hand. Work was put on hold during it shut down in 2003. Ray, can you describe it for us?
When activity, you can see people playing darts between the trains arriving, guys conversing back and forth and wheeling work up and down. It was a noisy and lively place to work.
Ray's going to tell you more about life working on the railway as we take a trip down memory lane through the many decades of mail rail.
We're under Mount Pleasant sorting office, heading east to Whitechapel. It was hard work down here, but we all thought we were part of something important. There was enormous team spirit. We seemed to get ourselves in the news a lot in the 90s. It didn't hurt that Bruce Willis made a film down here called Hudson Hawk. In the 80s, we had our 60th anniversary. Along with that, we had a new brand and finally some new trains. I'll tell you two things that sum up the 70s. Postcodes made life a lot easier, and strikes made life not so easy. In the 50s, air travel became much more common, and so did airmail, and that meant even more of it travelled along mail rail. Amazingly, the railway was back up and running the very next day. That reflected how vital the railway had become.
Main railway network. Further down that tunnel, it looks like a maintenance crew is checking the flood barriers.
This side's good. What's that like?
Big heavy steel doors that close it off.
During the railway's construction, 10 men scrambled to safety when the nearby River Fleet broke into where they were digging. The barriers here were installed later, after the war, but they'd never had to be used.
Ray, there's something else here that people might be interested in. Can you tell us about that?
When we
to unload and reload. Let's follow a few of those letters. This is the Colonel. He's writing to the famous sweetheart in the Navy. And this is Mary. Her letter is very special.